What, are your clothes on backwards or inside out? Are your shoelaces untied? April Fool! I have two stories for April Fool today. One's called Squawk to the Moon, Little Goose. And I think you can figure out what's going on by the time we get to the end of the story. Let's see. It's called Squawk to the Moon, Little Goose. There's Little Goose getting out of bed. This is by Edna Mitchell Preston and illustrated by Barbara Cooney. Mrs. Goose put her goslings to bed, and she said, I'm going next door to visit Mrs. Hen. Be good goslings, don't get out of bed, go to sleep. And out she went. Good's good and bad's bad. Out of bed, jumped Little Goose across the floor, out the door, and down the hill to the pond. Splash, uptail, downtail, dive and roll over. A big golden moon sailed high over Little Goose's head. And, oh, do you see it? A white fox was sneaking up on the moon. Do you see it? Oh, no. Little Goose said, look out! But the moon did not hear. Closer, closer, crept the fox. And then, the moon was gone. Little Goose said, good's good and bad's bad. The fox has swallowed the moon. I must go and tell the farmer. Away from the pond, across the meadow, and down the lane to the farmhouse. Squawk! Squawk! And the farmer said, confound it, what is the matter? And he stepped outside to the lawn in his nightshirt. He's in his pajamas. He said, is it you, Little Goose? What is on your mind that you wake up a man in the middle of the night? And Little Goose said, Farmer, the fox has swallowed the moon. And the farmer said, what's that up there in the sky? And it was the moon, big and round and golden. And the farmer said, go to bed, Little Goose, and don't bother me with any more nonsense. And he stepped inside and shut the door. Little Goose waddled away with her head hanging low for shame. Up the lane, across the meadow, and back to the pond, with her head hanging low for shame. And she never once looked at the sky. Oh, what was this she saw? The moon was in the pond, caught in the weeds, shining up through the water. And Little Goose said, good's good and bad's bad. The moon has fallen into the pond. I must go and tell the farmer. And away from the pond, across the meadow, down the lane to the farmhouse. Squawk! Squawk! And the farmer said, confound it! Can't a man get any sleep? And he stepped outside to the lawn. And he said, you again, Little Goose. What now? And Little Goose said, Farmer, the moon has fallen into the pond. And the farmer said, then what is that up there in the sky? It was the moon, big and round and golden. The farmer said, go to bed, Little Goose, and don't bother me again with nonsense. Little Goose waddled back with her head held way back so that she could watch the moon. Up the lane, across the meadow, back to the pond with her head held back, keeping her eye on the moon. Oh, that is how it happened that the fox caught her. Squawk! Squawk! I see the fox. Oh, no. Across the meadow and down the lane in the farmhouse, the farmer in his bed woke up again and heard squawk! Squawk! And the farmer said, oh, no, not again. I won't get out of bed for any more nonsense. And he rolled over and went back to sleep. Squawk! Squawk! There was no one to hear her, no one to come and help her. And the fox said, now, I'm going to eat you. And Little Goose said, please don't eat me. I'll give you, and the fox said, a fat hen to eat. And Little Goose said, no. And the fox said, a tasty duck to eat. And Little Goose said, no. And then the fox said, then I will eat you. Oh, what was that in the pond? Little Goose said, I'll give you a cheese as big as the moon. And the fox said, Little Goose, you can't fool me. You have no cheese. And Little Goose said, oh, then what is that there down in the pond, caught in the weeds, big and round and golden? And the fox said, a cheese as big as the moon. I will eat it up. Splash. The fox is in the pond, and Little Goose is running straight home. About time. Well, good's good and bad's bad. Mrs. Goose spanked her and gave her a scolding. And Mrs. Goose said, "Hop into bed, and I will tuck you in. Be my good little goose now." And Little Goose said, "I will." And there goes the fox. No cheese. What was really in the water? Was that the moon big and round and golden? Was it cheese? What do you think? And because it's April Fool's Day, I have another story. That was a story about somebody being kind of trying to fool somebody, but not really. He didn't know that he was trying to fool. And this story is about a contrary Mary. To be contrary means to be like opposite. It's kind of a fun thing to do on April Fool's Day. It's called Contrary Mary, and it's by Anita German, or Jerem. When Mary got up this morning, she was feeling contrary. She put her cap on backward and her shoes on the wrong feet. "Are you awake, Mary?" her mom called. "No," said Contrary Mary. Wait a minute, if she was asleep, she would be talking, would she? For breakfast, it was hot toast with peanut butter. "What would you like, Mary?" asked Mom. "Roast potatoes and gravy, please," said Contrary Mary. When they went to the store, it was raining. "Come under the umbrella, Mary," said Mom. But Contrary Mary didn't. She just danced around getting wet. All day long, Contrary Mary did contrary things. She rode her bicycle backward. She went for a walk on her hands. She read a book upside down. And she flew her kite along the ground. Mary's mom shook her head. "Mary, Mary, quite contrary," she said. And then she had an idea. That evening, at bedtime, instead of tucking Mary in right side up, Mary's mom tucked her in upside down. And then she opened the curtains, turned on the light, kissed Mary's toes, and said, "Good morning." Mary laughed and laughed. "Contrary Mom," she said. "Do you love me, Contrary Mary?" asked Mary's mom, giving her a cuddle. "No," said Contrary Mary, and she gave her mom a great big kiss. The end.